Hey everyone, welcome to Singletrack. My name's Will, and I have a box, but it's what's inside the box that's exciting. So I figured we should do a video and show you exactly what's inside here. All right, let's see what's in this box. Oh, two more boxes. Get that out of the way there. And this is not a fork, not a shock. It's a new dropper post from Fox. This is the transfer dropper post, but as you might be able to tell by its rather generous length here, this is a new 175mm dropper. Let's, there we go, or in American speak, 7-inch dropper. This is the 31.6 model. They're also available in 30.9, so you can get both diameters. But yes, quite a long dropper post. Now, up until now, Fox has only offered the transfer in 100, 125 and 150mm drop options. This is new, brand new 175mm. So for those who are looking for a little extra travel out of their dropper post to get that seat nice and low and out of the way, this might be one to put on the list. So we'll go through some of the details on this dropper post, because structurally this 175 transfer is very similar to the existing dropper posts. The main difference, as you'll be able to tell here, is it's pretty long. So let me just get out my magical measuring device and I will show you how long it is. The total length of this post is just over 530mm. I believe the spec is 531.2 or something like that. So, so pretty long. That means you've got a fair bit of lower tube and a fair bit of upper tube above or outside of the frame as well. So the total length is quite a bit longer than the 150mm dropper. Now there are two other measurements that are important to work out if this dropper is going to fit in your frame. Of course, one of the most important is the distance between the saddle rails and the bottom of this collar here. Basically, if your current seat post is shorter than this distance, then this post won't fit. So this is just around 230mm from the middle of the saddle rails to the bottom of the collar. So once you've got this seat post in your frame, and if you do have it slammed all the way down, the minimum seat post height is about 230mm, this distance here. So if you've got less seat post hanging out of your frame than 230mm, this won't fit. You're going to have to look for a shorter dropper post. Now the other measurement that's worth looking at is the maximum insertion of this one. So if we measure on the underside of the collar to the bottom of the cable stop, it's just shy of 300mm, about 299 or 298mm. And that's basically how far this can sit inside the frame with clearance for the cable stop at the bottom. So if you have a frame that has a curvy seat tube or an offset seat tube or a pivot running through the seat tube that limits how much seat post can go inside the frame, that measurement's going to be important to you as well. We should talk about this because you can get the transfer in internal cable routing option, which we've got here. So this is a stealth routed option. You can also get it in an external option where the cable mounts to the outside of the collar up the top here. This is the internally routed option, so your cable actually loads into the bottom cradle here of the dropper, and I'll just give you a bit of a demo. There we go. That's the activation mechanism for the transfer dropper. So when the cable pulls there, you're actually pushing on a piston inside here, and that activates the hydraulic cartridge inside the dropper post and allows the seat to move upwards and downwards on the stanchion there. So that's the mechanism there. It's pretty easy to move with your hands, which, to be honest, not all cable activated dropper posts are. And by the time you get that linked up to the remote, that ends up being quite a light action on the remote, that I've found anyway, testing transfer posts over the years. Now, to give you some weights and specs on this, this is the Performance Series version, so it's the all black dropper post option. Now in the 31.6mm length that we have here, the weight, confirmed weight for just the post on its own is 630 grams. So it is a bit heavier than the 150mm drop. You do have a fair bit more metal on this post compared to the shorter travel option, so it is a little bit heavier. So 630 grams for the post on its own. Price-wise, in Australia, this is going to sell for $479, and in the UK, it's going to sell for £319. So the pricing is unchanged compared to previous transfer dropper posts. You can get this in a factory version, which will have the gold KASHIMA coated upper. Now, just a hot tip here, structurally and internally, they're identical dropper posts, both the performance and the factory version. The only difference is that KASHIMA upper. And that'll cost you a bit of extra money, depending on whether it's worth it to you. I believe it's about 50 quid more in the UK, and in Australia, looking about $80 more to get the factory version. But performance-wise, the Performance Series is identical to the factory version. Up at the top here, we have this nice twin bolt clamp for locking down the saddle rails. This is compatible with both metal and carbon fiber saddle rails, so you can fit oversized carbon rails into this, and it uses 2 bolts to secure the saddle to the post, and that gives you a really nice range of adjustment for adjusting the saddle tilt, bringing the nose up or bringing the nose down. So really nice and easy to set the seat angle with this twin bolt design. We should have a bit of a look at the lever as well, so let me just grab this one out of the box here. And this is, as you can tell, a race face lever. Now, race face and Fox are part of the same company, and that means they're offering both the Fox 1x and 2x remote and the race face 1x lever. You buy these aftermarket, so the post comes on its own and you BYO lever, or you can purchase one of these. This is the race face 1x lever. So I'll just pull this out of the package and we'll just get rid of those so we can show you what the lever looks like. The lever's been around, the race face lever's been around for a little while, so this is a really nice piece of machined alloy. You've got good textured grooves there for your thumb to hit, so plenty of traction there. And we've got 2 little bolt holes here, and if that's in here in the box, yes it is, that gives you 2 different positions, 2 mounting positions for the lever. So once you've got that secured to your handlebar, you've got 2 different positions there to adjust the lateral position of the lever to get in the right spot for your thumb. So decent amount of adjustability there. It's rolling on a nice smooth pivot, and this guy will pinch the cable up the top here. So the head of the cable, or the cable nipple if you will, that's this little guy here, that actually loads into the bottom of the post, and then the free end of the cable is secured up at the lever end with that pinch bolt there. So it makes the system really easy to install relative to other cable droppers where it's the reverse of that one. I much prefer this system personally. I think it's a lot easier to work on and a lot easier to install. So there you go, that's the Fox transfer dropper post, now available in a 175mm drop. So loads of travel there for those who are looking for a little bit more height adjustment out of their dropper seat post. Now if you want more details on this guy, then jump on singletrackworld.com and you'll be able to see all the specifications, including all of those measurements we were talking before, to work out whether this will fit into your frame. All right guys, we'll see you next time.